Hi, my name's Aya. I am a former volunteer here at Point Ellis House. I used to work in collections and work as a docent here on the weekends. Museums matter because I think not only do they work towards preserving history for future generations to come, they also bring communities together whether it's academic scholars, um, the public especially, which is important, and governing bodies that are responsible for these institutions. So, for a lot of people that graduate after university, they're not entirely sure how to enter into the field of, let's say, heritage studies or museum studies. And I think volunteering is a great way to introduce yourself into that field and to use the skills that you learned in a classroom in an academic setting and apply it to everyday life. Whether it's talking to someone about a lamp or talking to them about colonialism. It's fascinating to see people's reactions to the things they learn in a heritage home, I would say. Yeah.
My name is Nancy Pearson, and I've been was a volunteer at Point Ellis House for 3.5 years. I started out first as a docent, so greeting people in the house and answering their questions, sharing information about the history of the house and family. Then the pandemic hit just a few months later, and the house, as it turned out, was closed for 1.5 years. So I worked in the garden, helping to restore that. We did a lot of tremendous work, particularly building the food garden in the south part of the acreage. And it was really encouraging that the food that we grew and that continued to be grown was used to feed families in the community and to help women who are staying at a transition home to get out of a dangerous situation. And I think that links in so well with the whole history of the house and the various roles it's had in the community. The house reopened to the public, and I went back to the docent role, and here I am today. Well, to my mind, museums matter for most of the reasons that you would hear normally, like you have to preserve history and, so that we don't forget the mistakes of the past and remake them. With Point Ellis House in particular, what really impressed me here was the really excellent work being done by the nonprofit society that's been operating the property for the past several years, is they brought to the surface the dialogue and conversation about the impact of colonialism on the Indigenous people and Peter O'Reilly's role in that. And his role as Indian Reserve Commissioner impacts everybody in BC still to this day, and it will continue to. And that conversation that we were having more and more with our visitors was growing in depth, and I could see understanding growing. But it also really, I gained a lot better understanding and would like to see that conversation carried on further and more broadly in our community and society. What I really was impressed by was just all the stories that our visitors shared with us. And so you could see history becoming broader and deeper that way too. And I learned so much, and it was just always so nice and fun a lot of the time to interact with people from all around North America, sometimes Europe, and certainly locally. It was really great to be here, and the staff were fantastic to work with.
Hello, my name is Tim Fitzum, and I was a volunteer at Point Ellis House. Started in 2017. When I came here, I was a tour guide. Later on, I became a docent. I worked in the garden, and I also wrote blogs and did transcriptions. So a wide variety of things over my 6 plus years here. Volunteering at a historic house has been very fulfilling. I have an interest in local history, history of Victoria, architecture history, and historic preservation. And all of those things are sort of rolled up together here at Point Ellis House, and it's been very fun for me to get involved in that. In my working life, I did not pursue any of those things. I had a career that was completely different, and I had very little time to pursue those interests. So once I was retired, I was able to do something that was fun for me, and that meant coming to Point Ellis House. Museums matter because they can tell us so much about the human condition, and they connect our past with the present. They create an important cultural record of who we are and place our current generation into perspective. Museums can provide tangible evidence of our achievements as well as our failures in an impactful way, and can have more impact than simply reading about something. Museums provide inspiration and awareness and help us to honor our heritage and customs.